yoga with Farrington Nature Link. I hope everyone is enjoying this beautiful, sunny Thursday afternoon. The night's afternoon a little chilly, but at least it's sunny here in West Roxbury. I'm at my place. West Roxbury is a neighborhood of Boston. There were some kiddos hanging out and playing behind me across the street. Maybe they went in for lunch. You might hear them at some point. My name is Sarah. I'm the program director with Farrington Nature Link. Farrington is a local nonprofit based in Lincoln, Mass, and working with the greater Boston community. And our mission is to enhance the well-being of children from low-income communities through a connection with the natural world. So today's topic is animal yoga. Some of you might have tuned in for this a few weeks ago. It was actually the first live stream video that we did this spring. And basically what it's going to be is it's going to be just like regular yoga, except all of the poses are going to be inspired by some kind of animal. So this is going to be silly and fun, and hopefully it'll give you a nice chance to breathe, take some deep breaths. We'll talk a little bit about that while we're doing the poses and keeping our breath going. It'll be a chance to relax. If you're doing it outside like me, it's a nice chance to feel the sun. I'm gonna ask folks who are watching to maybe leave me some comments throughout the video and let me know your ideas for what animal poses I should do. Like if you have an animal in mind, you can tell me in the comments, and at the end of the video, I'll save maybe 5 minutes to try to turn your animal into a pose. Or if you already have an idea for a pose, you can also tell me that in the comments, and then we'll try to do it together. Alrighty, so the other thing I want to say is that yoga is kind of something that you gotta make it kind of work for you and your body. So there are gonna be certain poses that maybe feel really good to you. There are gonna be other poses where you're like, I don't really love that so much. I want to kind of change it in a certain way so that it feels better for me, or I want to skip that pose and do something instead, or just rest. And I'll try to give you lots of different options so that what works for you and your safety and your happiness are the most important thing. Alrighty, so we're gonna start here. We're gonna do two poses that actually kind of work together. They're called cat and cow, because one of them looks like a cat kind of arching its back and going meow or purr, and the other one sounds like a cow going moo. And I want you to do those animal sounds with me while you breathe. It feels good. So as you can see, I'm here in a tabletop position on my knees, and my hands are flat on the ground, and my hands are kind of like right below my shoulders, and my elbows are pretty straight, but they're not completely locked. I've got a tiny, tiny little bend in them. All right, we're gonna bring your belly button down, arch your back downward, and bring your neck and head forward a little bit, but don't bring it forward too much. And just take a big inhale, and on the exhale, bring your belly button in and arch your back up and out. Pretend you're a cat. Meow. And on the exhale, moo. And just do that a few more times at your own pace, nice and slow. Feel your back, your spine releasing. Remembering to breathe. I like to do inhales when I'm in this position with the arch up, and exhales when I'm like this with the arch down. Awesome. So from here, we're gonna move into downward dog, which is a yoga position you might have heard of if you've tried it before. And I think it kind of looks like a dog that's just kind of playing around. Like maybe it's like digging in the dirt, or it's looking for a treat or something like that. You can use your imagination. So your hands are gonna be flat on the ground, and now your knees are gonna come up off the ground. Your legs are gonna be mostly straight, a tiny little bend, and try to spread yourself out here. And you're gonna press the base of your spine, your tailbone, back toward the wall, or in my case, toward the railing of my porch here. Don't forget to breathe. Make your doggy noises if you want. Woof, 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 woof. Just hold that for a few breaths. Feel your spine stretching out. Remember not to lock your elbows. All right, we're gonna step our feet forward. I'm gonna turn around to face you. Then I'm gonna slowly, very carefully come up to standing. Don't want to put too much pressure on my spine. So from here, our feet are gonna be about hip distance apart. And I'm gonna try not to lock my knees completely. I'm gonna have a tiny little bend. Raise my arms up. And in this position, we're gonna be a giraffe. Turn to a giraffe that's stretching to get some leaves from a tree that I wanna eat. Munch, 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 munch. Shake those shoulders out. Awesome, and we're exhaling. All right, so from here, shake your legs out a bit, bend your knees. We're gonna stay in a standing position, but we're gonna morph into a position that's normally called tree pose. We could think of it like a tree, because lots of animals like to live or hang out or maybe eat things from trees, root parts of trees. But we're gonna think of it like a bird as well. So start to put your weight into one foot and one leg. I'm gonna do my left foot, which is your right. You're gonna take the other leg and just bend it a little bit and put the bottom of your foot flat against your calf. Ooh, it's windy here. Good thing I can lean on the side of my house. So I'm gonna have my hands flat together, palms flat in prayer position. And I'm just gonna spend a moment here catching my balance, really feeling steady. Some people, their body proportions or their flexibility let them bring their foot all the way up to the inside of your thigh. It's not really comfortable for me, so I like to keep it on my calf. You can try either way, just make sure that your foot isn't on the side of your knee, because that's not good for your knee. When you feel stable and ready, if you want to add another layer, you can raise your arms up and out. Remember to keep your arms relatively straight with a little bend, and just lower your shoulders, try to relax them. So now I think we kind of look like maybe a flamingo. What other kind of birds might we look like? If anyone's ever seen a great blue heron, it's a kind of bird that's long like this, and they like to dip their beaks into the water at the side of like a pond or river to look for food. We're gonna try that on the other side, all right? So putting our weight to our other foot and leg, bring that other bottom of your foot to your calf, knee out, hands together. Let's inhale, and on the exhale, come up. Arms out, shoulders down. And if you lose your balance, that's totally okay. You can also try this with just both feet flat on the ground. Still look like a bird. So this could be my bent flamingo leg. My arms could be my wings. Or my arms could be a beak. And this could be a wing. What do you think? Doesn't that feel good? All right. We're gonna come down onto the floor now into a seated position. Our legs out in front of us.
Hey, Sarah.
What's up, Meg?
Can you bend the camera a little bit lower so we can see you on the ground?
Uh-huh. Okay.
Awesome. That looks better. Thank you.
Welcome. Knees bend, bottom of my feet together. I'm gonna straighten my spine a little bit and then come forward. I'm gonna try to bend from my lower back rather than from my upper back. And breathe. And once I feel like I'm forward, my hips should be feeling a little bit of a stretch. You can bend your middle and upper back forward a little bit if that feels good. Try not to pull forward your head and your neck too much. Kind of looking at the ground like maybe like 5 feet ahead of me right now. Let's inhale and exhale. I'm actually getting warm. I'm gonna take my jacket off. Thought I would be cold out here, but the sun is so nice. Don't forget to be thinking of poses that you want to suggest to me for the last 5 minutes. All right, so from here, we're gonna turn back and we're gonna go into downward dog, which is one of the poses that we started with. And this is just kind of a transition to help us move into crocodile. The kind of regular yoga name for this is usually high plank. So as you can see, my legs are out straight. My hands are right below my shoulders and my elbows or my arms are pretty much straight. Think of this like a crocodile. To demonstrate, I'm gonna bend my knees to the ground, and you can do that too. It's kind of like a crocodile that's going like jump, jump, jump. That's reaching its full body forward so it can try to snag something with its teeth. Jump, jump, jump. All right, from here, I don't have a lot of room, so I'm gonna come forward like this. We're gonna be with your hips and your belly button on the ground. My legs are out straight behind me, but my hands are on the ground and my elbows are bent, but my chest and my head are off the ground. I'm gonna press up a little bit, so now just my thighs are on the ground, maybe the tops of your hips are on the ground too. And this is normally called cobra, so at least in English, so it's already got an animal name. A cobra is kind of like a giant snake. So let's go. Let's inhale, and on the exhale, go like a snake. You can also keep it down a little bit lower if that feels better on your back. So right now I've got like most of my stomach on the ground. Okay, from here, we're gonna go back into a tabletop position, and we are gonna play like a fox. So foxes are known for being kind of sly. They're known for being predators, which means that they're an animal that likes to hunt and try to eat other types of animals that are their prey, which are the animals that get eaten. And, you know, I like to think of them kind of darting quickly around a field or the forest. So once we're here in tabletop, with hands below our shoulders, knees bent, we're gonna pick one arm, let's say our right arm, we're gonna stretch that out, and then we're gonna have our opposite leg, I don't have much space here, but I'm gonna lift my leg a little bit off the ground, either straight or just bent. So I got my left leg, my right arm, pretending I'm moving like a fox in slow motion. Then we're gonna come back down. We're gonna try it the other way. So I've got my left hand out, my right foot back. Sly like a fox. Let's try that one more time on each side. Awesome. I know everyone is doing a great job. So I'm gonna come up, I'm gonna bring my right leg in front of me, knee bent, facing forward, and my foot flat on the ground. And this is just kind of a transition. I don't have an animal in mind that kind of looks like this, but maybe you do. You can let me know. Then we're gonna straighten out our back leg. And I'm doing this just to kind of turn here to face you. So that now I've got my legs wide. My feet are wider than my hips. My knees are almost straight, just a tiny bend in them. And I'm gonna start straight, my hands on my hips. And then kind of like we were talking about when we were in butterfly pose on the ground with our knees bent and out, we're gonna start to bend forward from our hips and our lower back before we start bending with our upper back. You can put your hands on the ground if you'd like to, or if it feels good for you, you can just stay right here. I'm gonna keep coming down a little further. I think this reminds me of an elephant, right? So if you were an elephant with big legs and big arms, you can even move and sway around a little bit here. Just be really careful of your back, neck. Pretend you have a trunk. Just trying to play with some water, drink some water. What do elephants do as a noise? So if you want, pretend you're an elephant trying to get some water that's like right below you. You can now let your upper back, neck, and head come down and gently swing from side to side, just a little bit. Shake your head yes, shake your head no while you're down there. I'm pretending that my hair is swishing around in the water that the elephant is drinking from. Don't forget to breathe. Take a few more inhales and exhales down here. Awesome. So if you've got your hands on the ground, let's walk them out a little bit in front of you. Come up onto your fingertips. Now using your fingertips, walk back a little bit. Make sure your feet are grounded and very, very slowly come back up. Very nice. So from here, just take a minute, shake our legs out. It's a lot of work being an elephant. So we're gonna come back into another kind of bending pose. Your feet can be either close together like hip width or a little bit wider. You're gonna slowly bend, and we're gonna be doing the frog pose here. So my knees are bent outwards, and you can either stay like this. Feels kind of good to have my hands on my thighs. If you're kind of more like this, you're not fully bent, that's okay. That's a lot of work for my legs though. A little comfier for me if I'm bent. And I'm gonna take my elbows and press them on the insides of my thighs. Maybe they're closer to your knees. And I'm gonna try to keep my spine not completely straight, but also not bent over too much. And I can bring my hands together into a prayer position here with palms flat. I'm gonna inhale and exhale. The wind blows around me and fills my mat. Goodness. What do frogs say? I think they say ribbit, 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 ribbit. Awesome. So we're gonna come into on my knees here. The second to last pose that I have It's called fish pose. And then I want to take a few minutes to get poses inspired by animals that you all have told me about. And then we'll take the last couple minutes to do our final resting pose, which is called Shavasana. Sound good? Okay. So let's get onto our backs. And I'll face you for this one. Actually, no, I should be able to fit this one. Okay. So I'm gonna have my back on the floor. And my knees are bent. Meg, can you see me okay?
Can you tilt the camera down a little bit for me?
Can do. Okay. That should be
Yeah, that's better. Thank you.
You're welcome. So my feet are flat on the ground. My knees are bent. And I'm gonna take my fingertips and just see if I can reach the back of my heels. Can even sneak my feet a little closer to my tailbone. If you can't reach, that's perfectly fine. So you can either stay like this, because this feels pretty good, or what you can do is start to bring your tailbone, your butt, the bottom of your back up towards the sky, reaching your belly button and your hips up. You can either stay like this, or you can grab your hands together below you. That also feels pretty good. Keep reaching your belly button up. So we're pretending that we're like a fish here. How does this look like a fish? I think it looks like a fish that's kind of gargling water. It's bending, maybe it's playing in the water. This fish is actually normally called, or this position is normally called fish in English. So there must be a reason. You can also try just bending or straightening your arms in front of you, leaving them on the ground. And we're gonna slowly start coming down really carefully, one vertebrae at a time. Vertebrae is like a little part of your back that makes up, all together they make up the spine. I'm trying to have my tailbone be the last thing that comes down. Awesome, okay. So while I lay here in the sun, I want to give folks a minute. Maybe Meg can tell us if she or anybody has ideas for animal poses they want me to try with you.
Sarah, what about a rabbit?
Oh, rabbit! That is an awesome idea. Okay, let's think about this. What do rabbits look like? They've got long ears. Sometimes they come up, sometimes they flop down. They've got kind of bendy legs bent behind them, the little arms in front. Sometimes they have a little tail. Ugh. What if, so there's a pose in yoga called child's pose that I think maybe kind of reminds me of of a rabbit. I don't know if you had one in mind, Meg, for child's pose. You're gonna be on the ground with knees bent, legs out behind you. You're gonna put your hands flat on the ground in front of you. You're gonna bend your lower back. And then you're gonna bring hands out a little bit. There are a bunch of different ways you can do this. Head down. That feels good. So you're kind of pressing your back. Maybe you can come up a little bit. Do one arm at a time like a bunny. Or we could come all the way up. Do our big floppy bunny ears. This is a fun one to get those arms moving. All right, what else we got? We got a bunny, a rabbit. Do we have any other ideas? I have one in mind. Okay, we're gonna do one that's a really nice stretch that I like to do. It's called pigeon pose. So it's probably gonna be best if I turn my mat here so I have enough space. And the best way to start it is to start in our downward dog. So our hands are forward on the mat. Our hips and lower back are pressing back. Feet are flat. Knees are almost straight. We're going to take one leg, lift it up behind us, with the knee bent. Bring our bent knee forward. And then we're going to have our shin and maybe the side of your calf resting on the mat. And I'm going to bring my back knee and leg down. You can either stay like this, making sure you're not extending your neck too much, or you can come down a little bit and see if you can get your other hip or the outside of your butt on that same leg that's bent close to the ground. If you can, or if it feels good, you can come onto your elbows. You can even bring your head down, and let's just stretch like this. So this is a pigeon pose. That's actually what it's normally called in English too. Poses named after animals. I think this maybe is meant to kind of look like the wing of a pigeon. That's all. Its wings are all, close to its body instead of flapping. Just enjoy that for a minute. We're gonna slowly come back up. Let's try that on the other leg. So I'm gonna, in order to safely get back up, I'm gonna take my back foot and press my toes into the ground, lift up off of that bent leg, bring it back, come back into downward dog. Take your other leg that you didn't already do, bring it forward with bent knee. Shin, side of your calf on the ground. You can either stay like this, come forward onto your elbows. Don't forget to breathe. And we'll just stretch like this for a minute. And our pigeon pose. I think one of my neighbor's kiddos is a little upset over there. I don't know if you can hear him. I hope he feels better. I'm gonna come back up here, and I think it's time for our, I'm just gonna rotate onto my butt. I think it's time for our final resting pose, Shavasana. So for this one, there's a couple of fun ways that we could think of it. So have you ever heard of the word hibernation or hibernating? It's kind of something that some animals do either fully or kind of partly during the winter. It's a way for them to help their body not use too much energy so that they can get through those long winter months when there's not as much food around and it's really cold out, so that they can survive. And then they kind of wake up again and come into full action in the spring. So during hibernation, animals' body temperatures lower, their heart beats very, very, very slowly, and they're barely eating anything, if anything at all. So it's a really nice rest for them. You could also think of it, especially if you're outside right now or just by a sunny window, it's a nice chance to just feel the sun. Let's actually lay down as we do this. Feel the fresh air, maybe listen to the birds or any nature sounds around you. So we're really just laying on our back here, legs out straight, arms out by your side or a little bit wider out. We're just gonna breathe here and relax for a minute as we wrap up. sun feels awesome. Feel a little breeze. Oh man, I could stay down there all day. So to get back up, I'm gonna bend my knees, put my feet on the ground, and you can either turn to one side and then come up, or you can just kind of rock a little bit and come up. Shake it out. Awesome. So if you're watching, feel free to leave us some comments or questions. Let us know how that felt, what you thought. If you have any ideas for animal poses that we could do in the future, next time we do this, I would love to hear what you think. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, I'm Sarah with Farrington Nature Linc, and Animal Yoga today has been part of our Nature at Home series during April Vacation Week 2020. Have an awesome day, everybody. Bye.